What's going on, Blue Chips? How we doing this morning? I can't open this for you, bud. Of course, like as I was about to go live, you walked up to me. So you guys will see that my camera is kind of off to the side today. It's because I moved everything around preparing for the new monitor. So in advance, sorry for you having to look at the side of my face pretty much all morning. So let's get it started here. Let's see what we got today. You're going to be great. Keep pushing. If that ain't something to get you inspired this morning, I don't know what is. Let's get to it. All right. So as you'll see too, I have one big chart behind me. I don't really know how I'm going to set everything up when the new monitor does get here. So this is kind of how I have it for now. As you can see here, no button, no pressing. He wants me to open up some candy for him. Not going to do it. But if I go full screen, if you guys were here Friday night, you know that I changed my trading screen around a little bit, and this is what it looks like now. So for now, what's wrong, bud? I'm not opening this. This is not candy that you can have. You can choke on this. I'm sorry. No. You want a lollipop? I can give you a lollipop. Yeah. All right, give me 1 sec, guys. It's like he's fine until I go live, and then he's like, it's time to get on your nerves. So, where was I? I don't even remember what I was talking about. Something about the screen, probably. This being off. Oh, the full screen. So, yeah, we changed everything around, changed some hot buttons around, changed the charts around. So now I got 4 all on one screen, just without the daily. If I want to check the daily, I obviously can just go ahead and hit the D on the charts, and we would go from there. But for now, I just have this one big chart because it's just easier that way. Plus, you guys can probably see it better. You guys will have to let me know if you actually like it that way. Maybe we'll keep it that way. Maybe even the camera positioning as well. Maybe that's nice. Maybe you guys don't like looking at the front of my face forever. But as of right now, you might see me like looking up. That's because without my other monitor just yet, I've got everything prepared for the new monitor. So the monitors I did have, they're up basically 20 inches further in the air than they were before. So like to look at my scanner, I have to kind of look up just a bit. And yeah, so, okay, anyways, on to some stock related stuff here. Let me see who's all here. Thomas, what's going on? AQ Piano Progress, what's going on, man? Marketing, how you doing? Jeff, how we doing this morning? So the SPY's gapping down. From what I know, it's because of the coronavirus. People are starting to say, well, the coronavirus obviously isn't just going away. So how is this going to affect the economy, right? They're starting to think, well, people are going to be kind of staying in the house and all that good stuff, and not going out and spending money because of the coronavirus. So that's kind of the rumor story slash... my oldest, the one that I took to school a little bit ago, I thought he was the ADD kid, the one that had to have everything so particular, but Camden's starting to turn into that. Also, still haven't heard back from Balls, but I'm still going to be putting them in my mouth. Because I got 9 hours of sleep last night. I went to bed at 9 o'clock last night. I was so proud of myself. Took a little melatonin gummy, and I went upstairs after that kicked in, about a half hour, watched one episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I was out. I don't even remember falling asleep. I don't even really remember going upstairs. I was so tired. So let's see what everyone else is looking at real quick. Looking up at the Gapper list. pretty much everything on the gapper list is the inverse of the SPY, like the VIX, the VIXY, the VIIX, VXX, VIXY, oil, the UVIX, UVXY, TVIX, TVIX. All of those are the inverse of the SPY. So if we look at them, they're all gapping up because the SPY is gapping down. And then if you look at the other side of things, everything that's gapping down is basically the things that run with the SPY. So it's starting to look like a bearish type day. So just keep that in mind. I don't see anything on the gapper list besides that type of stuff. So also keep in mind, because the market is reacting this way, everything else might be really slow as well. So just keep that in mind. Don't, go looking to trade just because you want to trade. It's Monday morning. You've been waiting all weekend to trade, and nothing's really giving you your A+ setup. Just wait for it, okay? Because today is going to be that kind of day where people are seeing what the market's going to do when it opens, instead of people just, jumping in the stocks. If you guys look at the daily on the SPY, this thing has been nonstop, right? It's just been absolutely nonstop. It's just been climbing and climbing and climbing. So people, when they see something going up, they've just been jumping in. They've just been straight up FOMOing into these trades. But with it gapping down like this, and we have some bad news with the coronavirus, and let's just wait, right? You don't know what this thing's going to do. The way the SPY's been going, who knows? People are going to be like, oh, this is crap, and they're going to start buying it back up because they know that hopefully that the coronavirus is going to kind of be solved and go on from there. So got about 2 minutes here to the bell. Let's see what else people are looking at. AVDL. Let's see. I don't really see. This is kind of just stagnant. Is this off the bear scan? No, it kind of looks like it could be. Let's take a look at the bear scan here. EGO is right off the bear scan. Now, keep in mind, if you're new here, first off, my name's Tim. But when I talk about the bear scan, we're looking for hangover type plays. So basically what a hangover is it's a big day, the previous trading day or even the day before. So as you can see here with EGO, it was kind of stagnant on the 20th, but then Friday the 21st, it had a nice big bullish day, and then it gapped up a little bit. However, we're not usually looking for ones that gap up, so that's why it's not on the bear scan. If this thing would have went straight sideways around 10 and maybe even came down to like 975, basically what a hangover is, you're looking for this thing. It had a big bullish day, and then it couldn't continue, but this one actually looks like it wants to continue a little bit. But the hangover would be assuming that it's just going to fall over at the open. Good time to start thinking about some long-term investments, even though I plan to take on risk mainly short-term, not to create a big macro bias. Yeah, it is one of those things. You get a big pullback in the market. If you are looking to get long on some things, that is a good time to do it. However, I am not looking to hold anything very long-term right now, so we're just going to ignore that for the most part. I'm not interested in holding things overnight, and I think the market's still a little bit extended anyways, so yeah, got about 15 seconds here to the bell. We're going to be nice and patient. MBEV on the scanner right now. That's the only thing is I won't have the scanners up today, so I'm sorry about that. But I wonder, let me see what it looks like if I do. Okay. Oops. There's the bell. If I could actually hit the right button here. There we go. So maybe we'll do that. We'll leave it like that. Doesn't look the best, but we'll at least we'll have the scanners up here. Yeah, look, everything that's moving right now, stuff just based right off the SPY. MBEV's not really doing anything. Looking over at the long side. I feel like a little too zoomed out here. I guess that's not that bad. As long as I got my last price line in there, it'll be all right. Keep it like right here. Look at look at the minus I3 scan, guys. That is absolutely nuts. Thing is getting crushed, as in the overall market. Man, there is absolutely nothing going up right now. Everything is just getting whacked. This is pretty much everybody dumping their shares, assuming that there's going to be a big market correction coming. It's like a freaking Christmas tree over there, just all gold. There's absolutely like nothing on the plus I3 scan. It's just nobody's buying anything right now. And they're like intense moves too. Like look at the numbers. Usually we're looking for something over 20, and these are up in the 30s and 40s. It's crazy. We might not get any plays to the short side today. But I mean, this was predicted, right? So if we have to sit on our hands, we'll sit on our hands. This actually got down to 505. I was looking for QTT if it wanted to dip through 5, but now I'm not too interested. I don't have any shares there. I mean, everything that is on the plus I3 scan is basically things that are bouncing that already made a move down. As you can see, everything is red. When you guys see how this is all red except for now BLDRs on there? When it's red like that, that means that it's red on the day. Here we go with VHC. See if we can get that pop through 50 again here. Okay, so we're good there. See if we can get a little bit of a move through 50. Nice, interesting morning for us already. I mean, to be completely honest, too, everything that I've seen go down, it hasn't been on much volume. That's kind of why we weren't really interested in playing any of it. Looks like QTT would have worked. That thing's back up to 540 already. I was looking for the dip through 5, but it only got down to 505. That would have been a nice little winner. STAR. Star here, making a little bit of a move, but on like no volume. That's actually at all-time highs, it looks like. Just scrolling out a little bit. Yeah, it is. Oh, nope. You have to like go all the way back to 2008 to get back to there, to where it isn't actually at all-time highs. So VHC didn't really give us that pop that we were looking for. Didn't really drop that much either. So I said the range on these probably won't be that great. You're not going to get that FOMO in most of these stocks today. Here we go with VHC. Still not exactly the intense move we're looking for. I mean, we did get that first bar, but that was about it. I'd like to actually see this thing rip a little bit. Another bar like this one would be absolutely perfect. Straight up to like $6. That'd be beautiful. Put an order out there at 88. The only other chart I have up right now that's I'm even considering is STAR, STAR, but that thing has absolutely no volume. We would need to have some volume come into it. The spread here on VHC was pretty bad this whole time too. That's why I put the order out. I mean, yeah, look at the spread here. The bid came all the way down to 55 there, but the spread ask is still up there at 73. And what an interesting morning. I don't think I've seen a morning like this, to believe it or not. Like, I was expecting the morning to be like this, but I've never actually seen a morning like this, where it's just been like a slaughterhouse. I'm glad I put the scanners up there for you guys to see, so you weren't just taking my word for it. Let me open the window real quick for you. You hear the trash truck? Trash truck? Trash truck? You got your lollipop? Alright, so with this drop here on VHC, we're going to go ahead and cancel our order. Obviously not interested in it now. That was a drop we were looking for, but I didn't quite like the extension we got there. I wanted a little bit more out of it. So we'll go ahead and move on. EPZM, we do have shares here, but this thing's on SSR as well. BE owes us some money. This thing's pretty extended to the downside. Got some decent volume too. Be interesting if this popped up through 50 and went up there towards 12. Just nothing. I mean, there's really even nothing moving like super fast. Like there's absolutely probably no low floaters moving right now. Not that I've seen. I don't really play them anyway, but I mean, just nothing is moving right now. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of those low float, you know, penny stock gurus on YouTube have nothing to post today. Or they'll be posting red days just because they tried to force something for the YouTube channel. Yeah, I looked at Toka earlier. That's on SSR. Yeah. Or is this the low float? I got you. So it's on SSR and I got you. Yeah, so that's something I would be interested in. That thing ran on Friday too. Nice descending triangle here on STAR. That would have been a decent one to jump into. It's actually playing out right now. Just to show you what I'm talking about. I need to fix the margins on these. I guess that's something that I didn't fix. It's under configure. I don't remember. What is it supposed to be? 50. For some reason, it's only on this chart that it did that. But if we zoom in real quick, you'll see the descending triangle there. Had support right around 1720. It did fall through, but it's bouncing right off VWAP. It got the 1706. The BE, I'd like to see this shoot through 1150 up towards 12. Be interested in playing this if it does. SENS. We don't have shares there. That's also an SSR. No range either. CFX. CFX got crushed at the open. It's trying to bounce back up here on not that much volume. Pretty huge bounce, actually. COCP. I love having everything on one chart. Christian, I do not. I just don't play anything. I really don't even like playing anything under $3, let alone under $1. Just to give you a heads up, you'll never see me playing something like that. CDE. Some interesting stuff going on here this morning. Again, you heard me predict that this was going to be the case, but it was still pretty. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of fun to watch, but really not that much going on as far as being able to trade. Oops. Come on. There goes star, STEAR. It's kind of completing the descending triangle. It's actually diving through 17 right now. So that was a good one there. I'm going to be a little honest. The only thing that kept me out of that was the volume. Just not a big fan when things don't have a ton of volume. It can be a little unpredictable. BE is also not doing what we wanted it to do. We wanted it to get through 1150, but it got pretty much stalled, right at 1150. That's a little frustrating. Like I said, we're definitely going to be patient today, that's for sure. I'm not going to let anything kill us. If you guys watched my video that I put out yesterday, if you remember, one of the things I said, cash is a position, right? Cash is a position. By not trying to force a trade, I'm not risking anything. So just always remember that. You don't have, there's going to be days like this. There's going to be days where taking trades are clearly more risky than not taking a trade. So if you're only taking the trade because you're trying to force yourself to make money, even though you know it's a higher risk, then you have some diving to do into your emotions, because there's times that you should just not be taking trades. And today, for my strategy, for a lot of people's strategies, it's one of those days where you just need to realize that you might need to sit on your hands for a little bit. Even if I was looking to play the inverse of what I usually play the 1-1-2 to the downside, you got to remember, the SPY, this is where when you see the scanner light up like that, there's probably a reason. And that's why jumping on and at least looking at the gapper list will give you an idea of what the overall market's doing. So when you see the SPY and like all the VIXs and, you know, gold and oil and silver, all that stuff doing what it's doing, you know something's up. So when you start seeing things dump at the open, even though it might be an intense move that might be worth looking into playing, the odds are you're in. What's wrong? A diaper? Need a diaper change? Yeah. All right, come on. Be right back, guys. All right, and we're back. Doesn't look like we missed anything. What's GNPX doing? It's on SSR. I know it's a lower float anyway. I was just curious. It's actually a 20 mil float, so not too bad. SSR, we don't have any shares anyway, but this looks to be what's trying to run. Maybe I can get a nice ripper on NNVC today when shorts stumble over themselves, but apart from that, not seeing anything. Yeah, I took a look at NNVC earlier. What's it doing? It's actually still diving a little bit. How much commission do I have to pay to CMEG with your coupon, the code? Marketing, it's $2.95 a trade, a ticket. So every time you buy or sell, if you're shorting, it's $2.95. And then when you get out of the position, it's same thing. And if you scale in, then yes, it is. Every time you hit the button, it's $2.95. It does add up. It does add up. Commissions suck. They do. It's part of the game, though. You want to, it's what do they always say? Pay to play. You got to pay to play. There goes GMPX. But if you guys remember, when I first started, even when I first started the channel, I'll get that link for you here in 1 second. Let me load up the chat bot. I totally forgot to start that up this morning. When I first started this channel, I was still on SureTrader. And with SureTrader, I was paying $4.95 a ticket. So just think of that for a sec. $2.95 a ticket is a pretty big deal. That's $2 less. So commissions are coming down for brokers that actually are, you know, have very quick execution. I've never once had an order like stick like you see on these other platforms, especially the ones with free commissions. But that's pretty cheap considering. MNKD. We do have shares there, but volume's pretty good too, but the range is really crappy. Let's take a look at what Brian's doing. Brian is like the only one on ISW right now that's actually trading, but that's just because he's a nutcase. And he just is always killing it. So this is right out of the lounge, guys. Brian played the VIX. He played VIXY, VIXY. Nice little short there at the open. Covered. Nice little cover. Some pretty good trade there. NGM looks really nice. Started that one. Scaled into it. And then scaled out on the way back down. That was actually a pretty beautiful trade. And then NNVC. Looks like he got long here on NNVC. And covered as it went up. So that was a good cover too, because looking at the chart now, oh, you can even see it here. It's down near $9. So Brian, as always, killing it. He takes, I mean, he literally, I don't think he really does much prep work. I think he does kind of the same routine that I do in the morning. He mainly, I guarantee you, if he did have any of those charts up, the majority of his trades literally come right off the scanner. So I'll tell you, pretty much 95% of the time, I would say it's that high of a number. If I have charts up just from like the Gapper list or something like that, I would say 95% of the time, they're not the tickers that I end up trading, because something will go off on the scanner, and that's what I pull up, and I tend to trade that. So just something to keep in mind. A lot of people, that's one thing I think a lot of people struggle with is, I'm looking at sloppy seconds here on VHC, by the way. But one of the things a lot of people struggle with is that they research a stock. Like, say over the weekend, someone researched 10 different stocks and they got 10 charts up, and they know exactly their game plan and what they want to do. And then the market opens and none of those stocks are doing what they wanted it to do. But they're so invested into that stock because they took all weekend doing research on these stocks that they end up forcing themselves to trade these stocks because they put so much time and effort into it. So that's why I don't like to do that. And it really doesn't make any sense anyway, because I'm only looking for the big intense moves. And just because you do research on a stock, it doesn't mean it's going to, I mean, it might go up or go down like you thought it was going to, but it might not give you the intense move. And that's what I'm looking for. But if your strategy is to kind of play like slower type moves and you're just looking for a trend to go a certain direction, then that's fine. But where a lot of people mess up, like looking for these big intense moves, is that they put all this research into these stocks and they're like, okay, I think this one's going to make the big intense move. And then it just never does. And then they end up forcing some kind of trade on it anyway because they put so much time and effort into it, where I have the Intensity Stock Watch scanners and they just tell me what's moving at any given time. And I don't really need to do any of that research. So it's pretty nice to know that that is the case. Watching VHC here. What's the high here? 75? I think we're going to take one trade here. Oh, it gave me 49. I hit it at 53 and it clicked the 49. That's okay. It kind of sucks because I wanted to risk exactly the 25 as it went over high of day. I actually would have had a little bit of, I would have had like a couple cents leeway, but oh well. Hopefully it just works out as sloppy seconds and we can ride this thing down. See what it does down there around that, if we can get down to that support again at 535. If not, we'll put our stop in real quick anyways, 75, so we'll put it over, we'll just put it at 76, right? We kind of have to now. What's wrong, bud? I know it's only 1 penny over, but we kind of have to because it kind of screwed us there with the fill. It jumped down on us. We thought we got 53, but it jumped in. And hey, that's part of trading. GMPX is absolutely going insane. Just got halted. So it might have been a little bit early here on VHC for the sloppy seconds. But we shall see. Just kind of let it play itself out. Probably, no, I actually like it. It was kind of a full-size type play. I'm playing directly off, looking for the sloppy seconds. We are risking the full amount. And if it wants to go up and go high of day, then so be it. But if not, we'll be looking for this to drop back down. Hopefully we at least get back under 50. That's kind of the idea, to test this support again at 35. And it went right through that area. That's not good. Yes, bub. You gotta pee again? Where's your potty? You wanna try using the potty? Well, that sucks. I heard that as I walked away. Dang, we got a little slippage there, too. So we ended up losing 30 there. We only wanted the risk 25, but... Let's see what it wants to do up here. Say 50. It's kind of crappy, but it is what it is, I guess. Kind of faked us out there for the sloppy seconds. Came up right to get us at high of day. Trying to see if it wants to give us the pop through 580. We'll look to start this again because it's a pretty nice move up. What's wrong, Ben? You know how you've been doing it in your brother's room? Well, use the potty. Oh, close. You're supposed to go in the potty. Almost. Good try. That was a good try. Try going to the potty. Good job, bud. I'm proud of you. Yeah, try going in the potties next time. Shorted LK, but volume just evaporated. Sorry. I pay between... Nice. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, you don't need a watch list. Crap, I'm missing this this play. Do I really want to do it again? Looks like it's kind of getting bought up here. GMPX just took a dive. Holy crap. Traded today on my new account. Lost 328. Hey, only 328 is not bad. It's better than 30 like I lost. We got sucked into some sloppy seconds there, and it pretty much said, we're going to go take that from you like right away. So GMPX is the kind of trade we want to be playing, but that's a low float and it halted, so obviously not something we'd be that interested in. So VHC, this is one of those trades where we're not interested now, and I'm going to tell you why. We came up, we made the big move. It found support. It was coming back up. We were looking for this to be sloppy seconds. The only way this trade could have been a little bit better was if we would have waited for this bar. But it was going kind of slow, and it kind of felt like this was the top. It wanted to try to get back under 50. So we jumped in, kind of got screwed on the fill anyway, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, we actually ended up with, what, 4-cent slippage on the fill, and then we ended up with 3-cent slippage on the exit. So just goes to show you that, you know, doesn't always work according to plan. But what we were looking for was sloppy seconds for this to come down and then retest that support area and go through. But instead, it actually went up and went higher, and now it actually looks like an ascending type pattern. Right here, potty. Here. Sit down on the potty. What, you want me to put it over here? Oh, did you go again? You went again? Good job. Let me get you some paper towels. So that's how you do it, bud. You're learning. Yeah, you're learning. You're gonna make me mop the floors later. So if you guys haven't been able to notice, I'm sitting here trying to potty train my kid at the same time as I'm trading. Marketing, I saw. Of course, VHC is going to probably try to prove me wrong here. Like, no. You just told everybody what you think this is going to do. But I do think 550 is going to hold and kind of just grind up. Let's go over. I'm not even going to watch it anymore. I'm already moved on from it. It's just kind of been how my day's been lately. I thought I fixed this. 50. This thing's going high a day again. Jeez. You flushing the toilet? I hear it. Yay. Did you go again? No. Yeah, so we're gonna go through a whole roll of paper towels today, I bet. Looks like I'm the only person that lost on VHC because I got impatient with it. What did I tell you guys all morning to be patient, right? My entry should have been where my exit was, but I literally assumed sloppy seconds, and I paid for it. I'm actually not sure why I started with full position either, now that I'm thinking about it. I haven't played sloppy seconds like as a first trade in a while, but I still should have played it no differently than a 1-1-2. I don't know why I played it the way that I did. Right, instead of taking full size, like if I'm risking the $25, if I took 100 shares there because I assumed high of day would have been $25. So what I should have did is I should have came down here, hit my 25-cent button, and then split the shares up. So it should have been 25, and then I could have played it on the way up, 25, and then 50. So a little frustrating on my end. I didn't even really think about that in the moment. I think I was just so excited to see a kind of a pattern form that I keep looking to where my webcam used to be, that I just jumped in. So I ended up paying the price for that one. But hey, as long as we learn something from it, right? It's no different. I was actually just talking to somebody this morning, and think of when you're taking losses and you're keeping them controlled, all that good stuff, of how, like, when you're trying to get into a profession or a career path and you go to college for it, what do you do while you're at college? You pay tuition. So I tend to try to think of it like that with trading as well. Like sometimes you're going to take some losses, but did you learn something from the loss, right? That's the key. If you're not learning anything from the losses, then something's wrong. I'm not opening those, bud. Everyone's making fun of me in the Discord. What's up, Knives? Good morning, man. That's young to be potty training. He's just turned 2. Believe it or not, my oldest, he was already potty trained by the time he turned 2. He just took a quick interest in the potty when he was like a year and a half, and he just picked up on it so quick. And he was basically fully potty trained. Well, not fully potty trained, with the poop and stuff like that, but he was going to the bathroom by himself by the time he was 2. It was pretty nice. Every ticker looks like an algo. Yeah. So GMPX looks like it's trying to. It keeps getting bought up here. Feels like this thing's only going to keep going up. When I was just discussing my trade in the ISW room, I realized that with the VHC, I'm just going to go over to it just for a sec. I think the reasoning that I went full size there was because I was playing it like I would play a descending triangle. And if you get a descending triangle, which it was, in a way, it was forming one, right? We had the support, and then we had the trend line coming down. Or, oops, right there. So technically, this is a descendant para into a descending triangle, but it failed right away, which is no big deal. But with a descending triangle, the idea is when it starts to get real nice and tight at the end, you would jump in full size, risking off high of day. So I think that's what was going through my mind there with the sloppy seconds. But I do think I need to realize that sloppy seconds is not it can be a descending triangle trade, but when you get into it, technically it's not yet, because this was not squeezing nice and tight at the end of the triangle. This was just making its first bounce, which is what I like to call it sloppy seconds. But oh well, we learned our lesson. We'll write it down in the journal and we'll move forward. Where's the potty? Go in the potty. The idea you want to sit on the potty when you're first starting. I know you see me and your brother stand up and do it. That's why you want to. It's so cool seeing them explore themselves like that. They're trying to figure out, what does this thing do? I'm starting to feel it. What's it do? I'm confused, bud. I'm confused what you're looking for. Where's the seat? The seat's over there. There you go. He's stepping in the potty. Like constantly looking on the floor to see if he went. All right, Nick. Have fun at school, man. Every ticker look. Oh yeah, we already heard that. How you doing, Mr. Gifford? I don't think I actually said hello to you this morning. Sorry, guys. Everything's a little bit slow. If you're just tuning in, it's been one of those days. I kind of predicted going into market open that this was going to happen. It's one of those things where when you get a big news, when you get big news like the coronavirus affecting the economy and stuff like that, days like this are going to kind of happen. So I was saying be patient, wait for your setups, and I kind of got stuck being a little impatient on VHC, and we ended up losing some money for it. Although it does look like it's going to continue back higher, although we did kind of get the liquidity grab there, and it kind of, we did that to ourselves. It was the fake out over high of day, which tends to happen to us all the time. And it seems like every time that we don't get out and we look to play the fake out, it tends to go higher. So whatever, the market hates me, right? Whatever. So we ended up pretty much stop ticking this thing, got the 564, or what was the high here? It couldn't have been the high. 580, and we stopped out at 579. So we missed the top by 1 cent. But it does look like it wants to go higher. It did drop all the way back down to our entry for the most part after that. So kind of sucks that we took the full loss there, but it was our own problem there. I know you can't see the chart because we're sitting here watching GMPX, but I was just kind of giving you a breakdown of our one trade that we took today on VHC. We were looking, I'll just pull it up real quick. We were looking to play the sloppy seconds, and it didn't work, right? We were looking for the bouncy ball. I call it sloppy seconds, but we were looking for the bouncy ball. We got the big move, comes down, forms a support, bounces back up, and we were looking for it to bounce and bounce and bounce. But unfortunately, that's not what happened this time, and now it's looking like it wants to try to grind higher and higher. So, oh well, right? It happens. We're going to move on. It was that kind of day. We knew it was going to be that kind of day, but probably should have never been in that trade to begin with. We were kind of being impatient and forcing a trade, and it just, this is exactly what I was telling you with that I struggle in my video yesterday. I still struggle with this. I mean, there's always going to be times where there's something that you always struggle with, right? It's a matter of getting into the situations enough to realize that, hey, this is a problem, so that you can go ahead and solve it, right? That's what this is all about. It's all about learning and moving forward. Knives, it's funny. I just took all of the daily charts off my screen, which doesn't mean I'm not looking at the daily. But even if you look at the daily on here, I did, when I got into the trade, looking that was kind of the area, right? Like right around that 575 area. Like I'm looking at it on my other chart now. And then the next real resistance was the whole $1.06. So if I would have waited for that line, I never would have got into this trade because it never got to 6. So a lot of times you're not looking for those specific lines in particular because a lot of times they never get to them. You can use those as final risk offs, which I could have done here, and I was doing that. If you were here earlier, on this first move, I had an order out at 588. I was looking for this thing to keep running on this candle here, which I keep forgetting that you're not looking at it. So on this first move, I had an order at 588 looking for this to continue to get in to basically risk off a little bit over 6. But we didn't get that move up there, and we never got filled. So when it came back down, we weren't interested. However, we got this little intense move here on the pop back up. It showed us on the scanner again. It showed up on the scanner again. So we were looking for this to be a little bit of sloppy seconds. We were looking for this to kind of be a bouncy ball, right? We were looking for it to bounce and then bounce lower, which it happens a lot. Unfortunately, this is one of the cases where it didn't. The bulls wanted to take over today, and it went high of day again, stopped us out because and that was our fault. We didn't give ourselves any room. We got a bad fill as well. If we would have got a better fill, we could have hit the 1% button that we have on our montage, and maybe we wouldn't have, it would have been 5 cents. So what was the high? 575. So we probably would have top ticked it. Maybe we would have put it at 581. I don't know. Maybe it would have gave us 6 cents because it was in the higher fives. It would have rounded up. So maybe we would have missed it by 1 penny and we would have still been in the trade. I don't know. But either way, it never came back down to our entry. It came close, but either way, this was going to end up a loser just because it failed the sloppy seconds. But we went full size, expecting it to be sloppy seconds, and we were risking high of day. And unfortunately, we got a bad fill on both sides. So that happens, right? We only went over we missed by 5 cents. Our risk, we ended up getting 5 cents total slippage. Actually, it was a little bit more than that. Yeah, I definitely stuck to the plan. I feel like going in hindsight, I should have not been risking the full size right away. That was the only thing that I feel, because I could have been adding into this. I could have 1-1-2'd this thing and gave myself room over high of day, but I did not. So that was the only mistake that I made. I was playing it like a descending triangle instead of playing it like it could have went back towards high of day. Because this is also another typical move that you see where it'll go back up towards high of day and then get shut back down after it gets the liquidity and all the stops right there above high of day. But I decided to jump in for what you also see a lot is the sloppy seconds or the bouncy ball effect, and it just didn't work this time. So we just got to let it go. GMPX is looking like a descending triangle. 620 is the support, so we'll see what it does if it gets back down there. Yeah, no. I'm not second guessing myself. In the moment, I had the plan and I stuck to it. So I'm not mad about the trade being a loser. You guys know that you have to accept losing. It's part of it. Controlling that losing. I mean, because I really want to keep my eyes on this. But you guys saw the chart. If that would have went high a day and we stopped out, but then it continued and went all the way up through 6, we would look real smart right now. But in this case, it was a fake out and it came back down. So that's that, right? And now we look stupid. So there's going to be days where the market makes you look smart, and there's going to be days where the market makes you look stupid. And today it just made me look stupid so far, because it looks like it's still grinding higher anyway. So. Also, guys, remember, if you are here, do not feel afraid to ask questions. If you have a question about something, maybe something I said that you don't understand, don't be afraid to ask. You guys should know by now, if you've been around for a while, I do not mind answering or explaining something. GMPX did break that 620 area. See if it actually wants to continue. 6 is going to be hard to get through. You got VWAP sitting there. It's the whole dollar. It'd be interesting to see if it actually gets through 6. This ENLV looks to be another one that might be running. It's not on my scanner because it's a lower float. No, I don't have lower floats popping up on my scanner right now. And VHC, by the way, is right back at high of days. You can see it on the scanner. It's back up to 578 right now. Let's go full screen. So you guys will lose the scanners, but the scanners aren't really doing too much right now. But at least you guys will be able to see what I'm looking at. There's the flush down 2-6 on GMPX. Oh, crap. Wife asked me a question. It was a half hour ago now, and I told her, give me 1 second. I totally forgot about it. Oops. I remember why, because that was when Camden peed all over the floor. Fourth and 25th. I sent the email to CMEG because when on Friday night, if you guys remember, I was trying to open up more charts and it told me that I could only have 10 open at once. And they just sent me an email back saying you can have up to 30 open windows at a time. Can you provide us with a screenshot of what happens when you attempt to open up more than 10 windows at a time? So I'll have to do that later. Because even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I only have 11 open. 12, 13, 14. So 14 open. So it's definitely not even close to 30. So when I tried to open those sections, I'll have to do that later. And there went VHC going through high of day. Back down to 6 here on GMPX. And there it is, the 6 break. See if it's just a liquidity eater here or if it's actually going to continue. I do want to let you guys do. Good morning, Ryan. What's going on, man? Yeah, sure. You can always make a suggestion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But I do want to let you guys know while Ryan's doing that I'm doing really good with these 2 words together type thing this morning. The reason the scanners aren't really showing anything right now, by the way, I know you guys can't even see the scanners at the moment, but the reason they're not really doing anything is because I have them set and configured a certain way, right? I have them set to show me only, like I can, let me show you real quick. Does that show the scanner screen? Okay, cool. So when I open up my menu, I have it set to only show things over, which I can show you. I'll set this to 0, which is the default. 1 to 160 is the default. And then this is 40 mil float, so I have it set to only show me things at 40 mil float or over. And also the min volume, I'm pretty sure that's default. I don't think I changed that. So now if I hit save or close, you'll see that you'll get a lot more popping up once it should have reloaded right away. Did I do something wrong? No. I'm wondering if because I had the float set when I don't know. We'll give it a sec. We'll give it a sec and see what it does. Let me try it over here too. Get rid of the min. Save and close. I don't want to save it and then restart because then I'd have to change all that back the next time I restart. But usually you will get a bunch of, possible plays still popping up. But the way that I have it set up, I'm only looking for the very intense moves that are also over a 40 mil float. And so that's why it's not really going off for me at the moment. But let me see. I have to put 0. I keep forgetting. I think this might be the issue. Guess I have to have max float for this. I'm an idiot. There we go. I think Brian, the guy who created the scanners and has this float thing going on, this is a beta, by the way. He's still working on it. I think he needs to fix it so if it's blank, that equals 0. Okay, Brian? Thanks. So as you can see now, the scanners are moving quite nicely. So before, the way I had it set up, you wouldn't be seeing GMPX right here. You wouldn't be seeing AEY. They do pop up on the tracker up there. That's kind of how I keep track of the low floaters that are moving, because I didn't set it on here to worry about that. It's only on the plus I3 and the minus I3 that I am worried about the float, because that's what I'm looking at. And as you can see, everything that is kind of moving is pretty much lower float, except for like OMI and CYH. And those are below 10 on the I3 scan anyway, so they wouldn't have popped up under my filters. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. That it doesn't mean nothing is happening. It's just for the way that I have things set up on the scanners, that's why it wasn't showing anything. Let's take a look at AEY real quick. Let's go back to the full screen here. AEY is actually kind of bugging out here. I wonder if that was a halt. Let's see. Nope. No, it wasn't. I cannot wait for my monitor to get here. The more and more I'm sitting here too, I feel like VHC was a little bit of a FOMO trade. I mean, I kind of admitted that earlier, saying I got impatient, so a little frustrated with myself on the VHC trade. But again, at least I did stick to the plan that I put in to motion when I did get into the trade, right? That's the only positive there. Just a little frustrated in myself because I definitely jumped in. It's not my A+ setup at all. Sloppy seconds is definitely not what I'm looking for as a trade, you know, as a normal trade. That's more of a, usually when I play sloppy seconds, it's because I already traded the front end and I got a nice drop and I'm looking to just kind of hit the bounce, you know, because I felt the price action out, which I kind of did over here. And it kind of felt like it got shoved down when I was watching it the first time, since I didn't get my order filled, if you remember. But it was a little frustrating, I guess. And I don't know, created a little bit of FOMO, a little bit of impatience. So I paid the price for it, right? We'll move on. But the more I think about it, I was really honestly thinking about what I'm going to write in my journal about it. That's kind of why I'm kind of speaking out loud, thinking about it. It's not because I'm still thinking about, or I am upset about it or anything like that. I am just simply just trying to process what I did there. All right. Sorry, Ryan. I had a different screen up there for a second. Let me read. My opinion, please look into surf. I'm just an average dude. I grew up very poor, brother, worked very hard, served our country, and now I trade. Thank you for serving our country, by the way. Seriously. That's something that I thought about it at one point, and I honestly feel like I never had the balls to kind of jump into it. Surf is crushing the market with 130% increase forecasted over the next 30 days. Is this a ticker? SURF? Okay. I'm assuming it is. It did pull up. Please just look into it. The past month, I have made a loot of cash buying and selling the stock. A lot. Okay. So I appreciate that. And for anybody that wants to look into that, again, always do your own due diligence. Looking at the daily, this thing, it definitely is on a little bit of an upswing. And it does look pretty good on the daily for coming back up. I don't know anything about this company, but if you're looking to play this thing for the long term, that's completely not my style. That's something that you fundamental traders like to trade. That's definitely not what I'm here to do. So I do appreciate, Ryan, you kind of stepping in, and I wouldn't really call that advice, but that was more of just like looking at a specific stock to see if I'd be interested. But yeah, I appreciate you saying something, but that's definitely just not something I'm interested in. So appreciate it, but no thank you. Really, again, not too much going on as far as what I'm looking for. I'm just kind of watching, waiting for something to kind of pop up on the scanners, all that good stuff. There's really nothing doing anything that I'm interested in. ENLV actually kind of looks like it's in a little bit of a descending triangle here. but I'm not interested in it. Like, oh, I don't have any shares anyway. You peeing? Did you pee pee? You're supposed to go. You pee twice. I didn't realize you pee so much. You know, if we didn't have a reason to get rid of this rug yet, we're going to now. If I wasn't already a one-of-a-kind YouTube channel, you go find me another YouTube channel where we're trading the stock market and cleaning up a kid's pee while he's trying to potty train. You find me one of those, and I'll send you 3 balls in the mail, like instantly. I'll send them next day. Or was this from earlier? It kind of looks like this from earlier. Literally gonna be mopping the floor after I'm done. I couldn't really stop this from happening because I've been waiting for him to kind of show interest. So it's about time. Like, he came up and he was like grabbing his diaper, like basically saying, take it off, take it off. So that's the first time he's actually done it. We've been trying to get him to the point where this is happening. And unfortunately, it's just part of potty training that they have to kind of walk around and you have to clean up pee for a little while until they start to realize, hey, maybe I will do it in the potty instead. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. If you are new here, my name's Tim. Over here at Volatility Trading, feel free to ask any questions if you have any comments, just like Ryan just had any concerns as well. I'm not saying Ryan had a concern, but yeah, feel free to let me know. If you have any questions, obviously ask. I will be more than happy to answer. If I don't even know the answer, I'm going to go find the answer because that's what I like to do. The whole point of having this going is so that we can form a community where we grow together, right? I mean, if you're here just to watch me, that's awesome too. I appreciate the support. But if you're here to learn, hopefully, you know, each and every day you're learning a little bit of something, because that is part of the reason that the channel is running in the first place, is to try to get you away from the 90%, right? I might even be part of the 90% right now. Who knows? I like to think that I'm not. I like to think that I'm putting in the time, the effort to get myself away from that 90%. And hopefully, you know, in the near future, obviously today was a bad day to get started with some confidence, but I kind of, again, I FOMO'd into VHC. I was definitely impatient with it and I paid the price for it, but I can chalk it up to that, right? It wasn't anything else. I didn't let it run against me. I didn't do anything wrong. I followed the plan, cut the trade, realized I made the mistake, and that's it. And now the thing's just grinding higher and higher. So can't really be too upset in the grand scheme of things. I just can't wait to get my new monitor. That's all I can think about. It'll make everything so much easier. I'll be like looking down like normal again instead of having to look up like this. It's straining my neck a little bit. By the way, B played, oh, hold on, let me just take a picture because it's going to be too small. He played GMPX, and it looks nice. I can zoom in if I do it this way. Let's see. So he started over here. He actually ended up cutting it the first time, got back in, and then cleaned up on it the second time. So I don't know how he ended up faring. I don't know if it was like a break-even type trade, if he made money or lost money, but if I know any better, usually it's the making money end of things. But that was GMPX. I meant to pull this back up here. Quick look for P. I don't see any. Sorry, I was updating the wife on the potty training. She's laughing at me. What's up, Welton? How you doing, man? How are the trades going? This morning was a little bit interesting with the SPY gap down and the coronavirus and all that good stuff. But we got one trade on VHC. It was a loser. It was a little bit of a FOMO / impatient type trade. So we paid the price for it. I've been doing a competition over at TradeNet for the past week. I have to say their TEFS platform is spectacularly underperforming. Horrible fills drive you into using market orders only, then the slippage is massive. Yeah, I've heard nothing but some bad things over there at TradeNet, so that's why I don't even look into them. I've never been with them. I've just never had an interest in even looking into them because I've never heard anything but bad things. Plus, anybody that's willing, I mean, it's basically paper money. Pay us $350 up to like $500, and we'll give you $13,000 to trade with. And on top of that, you can even lose $700. So it's like you pay $350, and they're telling you can lose twice that amount. You know, something's fishy there, guys. I don't think anybody would do that with their real money, especially for somebody that is brand new to trading, because you're almost certain to lose that money. I mean, it's truly epically bad. Yeah. Well, it's good to have other people let me know that. Man, look at ENLV. That thing got crushed. I guess my face is in the way. Let's move it up here. It's halted going down right now. It got absolutely crushed. SPY is actually trying to go lower, it looks like. Got bought up a little bit. It's trying to stay up. It didn't get to its pre-market lows. VHC is actually attempting to come back down too, but I don't really care. I'm not looking to trade that thing. I just have it up because I don't really have anything else to pull up. I caught a $2 plus on TVIX, done for the day. Beautiful, love it. Getting ready for work now. Have a wonderful trading session. That is one of the ones. Let's actually get rid of VHC here. TVIX, sometimes we have shares, sometimes we don't. A little sad that we don't have shares on this one. Not quite sure I would have played TVIX or any of the ones, like even if you go to like the VIX and stuff like that, they're all going to look the same, just different price ranges. But I would have been looking for some kind of a pop at the open, and we didn't really get that. It just kind of went down. So, which means the SPY in return went up. So obviously it's the inverse. So a little disappointed there, because I would have been looking to play that one of these if it would have ran at the open, but none of them did. They just kind of fell over. But have a good day, man. I appreciate you stopping in to say what's up. See you tomorrow, maybe. We'll be here in the morning. I need to remember, guys, don't let me forget. I have to go take my son over to my dad's. Actually, I'm going to text him now for his nap, because then I have to... I have an appointment at 2 o'clock with my other son. His speech appointment. It's like the annual report type thing. Oh, you went long. Oh, I got you. So you went long after it found support. Gotcha. Nice. I'm going to have to try to spit out my video real quick. Usually I get off and just play with him until he takes a nap. But since I'm not going to be here while he's taking a nap, I'm going to try to, I guess, spit out my video a little early. Just talking about how I made a video about being patient yesterday and failed to do so today. Waiting for ENLV to unhalt, just to, out of curiosity, watch what it wants to do. I'm still not sure if I like the camera over there. I kind of do. That way I can kind of keep my monitors all correct. I don't have to like offset one of them, and it's like right at eye level. Oh, there goes ENLV. Must have has actually been going for a couple minutes here. Or did it just click over? Yeah. It's just kind of continuing down. But ENLV is another one. You see the nice descending triangle here that it formed, and then you got the flush. I mean, looks pretty standard, to be honest. Yes. Did it turn off? Which one? Pick one. Blippi? There you go. You did it. I see some more pee. definitely gonna have to mop the floors. It's the only reason I'm letting them do it anyway is because we're on hardwood floors. How's the keto going? Do you do bulletproof drinks in the morning? I don't know. Is balls bulletproof? No, I'm not doing. I know about the bulletproof drinks, but no, I'm not doing them. But I'm doing good. I'm down 11 pounds as of yesterday morning. I actually thought I was going to be out of ketosis this morning because I ate a few carbs yesterday for one of my nephew, or my only nephew. Actually, I guess one of my nephews. I have a sister, a stepsister. Yeah, I have a stepsister that I guess her son would be my nephew as well. But it was his birthday. Well, his birthday is actually today, but we celebrated it yesterday. But yeah, 11 pounds, doing good. Took the little pee on a strip test this morning, and I was actually in the higher end of the optimum range of ketosis. So I was actually kind of surprised. So maybe my body's already starting to cycle through the fats and stuff pretty quickly, or the carbs and stuff pretty quickly. I was actually pleasantly surprised. I mean, I don't think I ate that many carbs, but I ate more than I usually do. I've probably been around like 10 to 15 a day, and I think yesterday I probably had like 30, 35. But I want to get to the point where I'm like super strict with my carbs. I've been keeping track of mostly everything, but I want to start going up like hit 20 a day, and then start doing 25 a day, and then 30, and then like see where I can actually like see how many carbs I can eat without ever getting knocked out of ketosis. So I'm actually kind of curious how many I could eat, because I love carbs. So the more that I could eat and stay in ketosis, the better. Yeah. I've actually felt fine the entire time. I've never had an issue with like the keto flu or whatever. And we're about almost a month in now, so we're in like our almost third week, or almost fourth week. Let's see, AHPI. It's a low float. Just kind of curious what's on SSR as well. Range isn't too great. But for anybody that's interested too in what the scanners are doing, I know you can't see them right now, but this is what it's looking for, these big intense moves. Like if I go back, let's go back to chart 1. I'll put up AHPI, or chart 1 with scanner, sorry. So you'll see AHPI is going off here on the scanners, and this is why, right? I got the nice intense move. I really need to fix this. I don't know why it's doing it only on that chart, but it's annoying. Every time I switch a ticker, it does that. Well, Mr. Gifford, that is something that I do not struggle with. I actually eat tons of fats, especially because pretty much my breakfast, which I usually eat around noon, usually consists of 4 eggs, cheese, 2 different types of cheese. I use a Mexican blend, and I usually mix Parmesan into the eggs, and then I will put the Mexican cheese blend on top. And then sometimes I'll even put some sour cream on top. Like I usually have no problems getting some of the fats in there. I used to eat avocados a lot, but I've been eating guac. Like I'll make bacon and I'll eat guac with the bacon. So I don't know. I have no problems getting my fat. That's for sure, especially through bacon. Bacon is one of the main resources that I have for fat. I love bacon. I mean, who doesn't love bacon? But as you can see here, guys, the scanners, that's exactly what we're looking for, is these big intense moves. And that's why it's going off. Candy? I'm not opening it, but I'm sorry. You're just going to have to get mad at me on that one. It's looking like the low floats are actually coming back now that the market kind of slowed down. And that's what I said. At the beginning of the day, the low floats were probably going to be non-existent just because everyone wanted to see what the market was going to do. The market did not just completely tank like everyone thought it was, and now we're getting some resuming of some normal action. Thomas, that's a very good point. You get fats two ways, in your mouth or on your body. You pick. It's very true. I also, too, a lot of like eating for me, it has to do with just getting into a routine. And once I get past that, like second week, I want to say, it becomes pretty easy for me. Like when we go out now and stuff like that, I'm not even tempted to get like French fries and like all those things that I would normally eat. Like it's in my mind, like there's no way I'm eating those right now, like at all. And you can have a few, right? You can, like, if you really have to have French fries or whatever your carbs, like, you can still have them. You just have to have them in moderation. Like yesterday, I took one bite. I took one bite of a Kit Kat bar because it was sitting there, and I said, I haven't had a Kit Kat bar in a long time. Well, you don't have to just completely say no. You can take a bite, but just take one bite. Don't eat the whole pack. So you can just give the rest of your kids. Get them cavities started nice and early. But it does look like I am going to get out of here, guys. I'm going to link the Discord. Feel free to jump in there for the rest of the day. I won't be here after about 1 o'clock. I'm going to try to get my video out real quick so that it's up and running. And if you do have any additional questions or comments, feel free to ask me in the Discord. You can find me on Twitter. I'll throw that in there as well. And that's all I have for you. You can wait for this thing to process. You can do that. I'll go ahead and put the timestamp on the trade, but I'm going to include the trade in the video from today anyway. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Yeah, veggies. Well, you can still have veggies. Veggies aren't that bad for you. But again, you do have to have some of the veggies in moderation because the carbs can add up with them. But again, kind of a sucky Monday for us. We kind of knew that we were going to have to be patient. We still had problems trying to be patient, and it ended up costing us a little bit on that one trade on VHC. So I'm going to chalk it up as a loss, another red day, but I don't feel too bad about it, right? We have a nice clear conscience after last week. Last week really sucked. We're going to come here tomorrow morning, and we're going to learn from last week and today, and we're not going to be impatient, right? We're going to be patient tomorrow, wait for our setups, and hopefully since the market didn't just completely die, things will be okay, and we'll get a couple runners to play tomorrow. So until then, I will catch you later. I've totally lost where my button was, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Peace.